Happy New Year's. Hey y'all, sorry I haven't been posting. I've been sick, so I've been out of it. I've not been posting, but today I got a few TikToks that I want to look at that I related to a little bit. I want to talk about some energy that I want to bring into 2023. I have a few New Year's resolutions that I want to share with you, and that's it. So let's get into it.
I'm just going to say the thing you're not supposed to say. I love you, but I love me more.
POV. It's 2023, and so every time you have a decision to make, you ask yourself, what would a person that loves themselves do? And you unintentionally turn into someone who loves yourself, and it's your best. So honestly, this would be kind of cool. I'm not going to lie. We haven't had this, but I feel like this year, it could happen. It could happen. We're going to try our best.
It's not the trauma that makes you funny. You're not funny at all. I don't know who lied and said that.
The trauma didn't make you strong either. The trauma didn't make you smart. The trauma didn't make you resilient. The trauma didn't make you critically think. You suffered for no reason. There is no glory in your suffering. There is no answer from God. There is no righteous path. You suffered for no reason. There was no reason that you had to suffer. And I'm sorry that you had to suffer. But you didn't suffer for a reason. Don't glorify it. Don't justify it. Don't pretend it's any less fucked up than it is. The least, or rather the most, you can do for yourself is fully accept the reality of what you went through. And I say that as someone with so much trauma from so many years. You didn't suffer for any glorious reason.
Most based. Radical acceptance is the vibes going into 2023. That's what we're going to be leaning in towards, is some radical acceptance, confidence in ourselves, just acceptance. Next one. I am one with nature. Mother Nature is thy creator of all that provides us a chance of life. We are all souls among billions of other space particles. One's mind must be enclosed if one believes that there is nothing else than ourselves. The universe, God, Mother Nature, and our spiritual souls hold so much more than this man-made society teaches. I crave to be true to my soul and to walk upon this rich soil beneath us, feel it between my toes as my spirit connects. The human mind is such a beautiful yet complicated structure. We should crave to understand the unknown, as though knowledge is key to unlock the beautiful secrets of the world and life. I sometimes wonder, do any of the personality traits of my past lives linger in my present day? Nothing is impossible. Ali, 2022. Thank you for writing that piece. I enjoyed it. Okay, yes, this is embarrassing and shameful, but does anybody else just low-key forget to take care of themselves? Not in a, I study for so long I forget to take a break way, but in a, oops, it has been a month since I did laundry way. I don't even purposely try and be nasty. I just feel like there's so many things I have to constantly do, and even though I've been doing it for my whole life, it is still not turned into habits yet. That's based. That's not energy I want to take into 2023, but that is energy that I have felt the rest of my life. Okay, next. Well, my parents wonder why I'm not an independent adult, but I grew up being yelled at for being dumb since I was always doing everything wrong. So now, unless I have clear step-by-step instructions for a task goal, I am completely paralyzed. Yeah, this one's pretty based. That's where I am. I have historically. That's not the energy that we're taking into 2023. That's same as the last one. We're working on it. We're reparenting ourselves this year. This year, we're going to try and give ourselves the childhood that we never had, or something like that. I don't know. But we are going to work on not being stuck in the past. We're going to try and be very intentional and present in our day. This next one, I really like this one. So this is energy that we want to take into 2023.
For the good of all and to the harm of none, I'm about to be so wealthy. I'm about to be the healthiest I have ever been. I am walking in my purpose, and I am about to be the happiest and most healed version of myself. I am so happy, and I am so proud of how far I have come, and I cannot wait to see how far I go.
Based. Yeah, so I am really hoping that this year is going to be a good one. I don't know if it is, honestly. It could be, it could not be. But we are going to do our best to have a positive mental image on it, in spite of negative things that may or may not happen. Because there's always ways to reframe it mentally, I guess, into a positive way of thinking. And not even that necessarily, but sometimes letting your anxiety run your life is not the greatest thing. Okay, anyways, on to my... So I have 7 resolutions. Now, a lot of these are just comparators. I'm saying more or less. The first one is be as vulnerable, radically accepting, and confident as possible. This is with content creation, with my relationships, with the universe and nature. Historically, I suffer from a lot of anxiety. I'm like, what if this isn't good enough to post? What if people don't like it? What if it's hated, right? And once I post, I tell myself none of that matters anymore. But getting to the point of posting sometimes can be difficult for me. This year, I do want to be more vulnerable. Sometimes, if I don't feel like something's the greatest, maybe I'll post it anyway. Because even unfinished pieces, or not unfinished, but even pieces of work that I may feel are not complete or not great, somebody else may see and like, right? So then with my relationships, I really struggle in relationships to be vulnerable. I watched a TikTok once that was like, there's a difference between being open and being vulnerable. And I think I'm very open with people. I'm very open with things in general, but I'm not always super vulnerable. And I think I want to be more vulnerable with people, because what's the worst that can really happen? Maybe I cry a bunch because I have a lot of relationships that are complicated and they make me stressed out. That's good life experience, in my personal opinion. And this isn't just romantic relationships. This is with my friends. This is with my family. This is with anybody. All kinds of relationships. All kinds of relationships are important, not just your romantic ones. Platonic friendships, platonic relationships, community, they're important. With the universe and nature, I just want to be more accepting of the world. I don't know, putting things out there, trusting that things will work out. I have been watching a lot of, I don't even know how to describe it. I have a playlist on YouTube called Girl Bossing, and they're mainly women that are talking, and I like what they have to say sometimes. And a lot of them talk about aligning with the universe and nature and putting trust in the universe to like take care of you, because I don't know. They say it will. I'm anxious. But 2023, these are the vibes that we want. These are the vibes that we're working on. Smoke a more reasonable amount of weed. I smoke a lot of reefer, unfortunately, in my life. And I want to cut a lot of that out, because I don't think it's doing great things for me. I think it's keeping me alive. It's keeping me comfortable. Not comfortable. Comfortable is not the right word. Keeping me complacent, maybe. Happy with mediocrity. And I think smoking less would be good for me. Maybe even quitting altogether would be really good for me. I kind of want to frame it as more of a social thing. It might be okay, but not so much when I'm by myself, or maybe not so much in the day. Maybe I can set it after a certain time. I don't know. I don't know what I'll need to do. I do know I want to smoke a more reasonable amount of weed. I'm not quite sure what it looks like yet. We'll figure it out as time goes on. Exercise a more reasonable amount. I don't exercise enough. I don't go outside enough. I don't use my body physically enough. And that's something I do need to work on. So we're going to try and exercise a more reasonable amount. Utilize technology, in particular my cell phone, more reasonably and productively. This would be things like grayscale for personal time, app time limits, things like that. Grayscale, I saw this other TikTok one time that was like,
you should try turning your phone to grayscale. I've been doing this off and on for about the past week. I started this because I was reading The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. The whole book focuses on taking away hurry in order to benefit your life. One of the ways was to turn your phone into a dumb phone by turning your phone into grayscale. It just makes it so there's far less stimulus being inputted into your brain, and thus makes you want to be on your phone less, and ultimately making you more present in your day-to-day life. And that's why
if you struggle with being on your phone all the time, then put it in grayscale, because then your brain will get bored of it, and you'd rather interact with like real colors in the real world than black and white on your phone. And I tried it for a while, and it worked really good. But I sometimes make things for work on the internet, right? And when I do that, I want to make sure that it looks good with the colors and everything. So I take it off, and then one time I took it off, and then I didn't ever put it all back on. And I think I'm going to put it back on for personal time in 2023. And I also want to have app time limits. I don't know what apps I'm going to time limit. Apps that are games, potentially those need to be monitored. Or not monitored, but locked. Apps, time limited. Like Risk and Warzone. I've been playing a lot of Warzone. Maybe I can stream those. Maybe I can stream more often. That should be one of my New Year's resolutions. Stream more often. I don't always need to do things by myself. Maybe I can do it with y'all. Just generally reparent ourselves, rip. I think we do just need some general reparenting. I didn't want to write everything down because it feels very like monotonous, like, oh, be better about, oh, be better about, oh, be better, like, and I don't even want to say like be better about them, but like, they're just things that like I need to reparent myself on, that like I'm coming to find that I need to reparent myself on, and that's fine. Well, I'm a little bit salty about it, but it's fine. We got this. We'll figure it out eventually. The next thing is get our anxiety under control. So we're currently in the process of trying to see people for our anxiety, but we do be having pretty bad anxiety. I have a high suspicion that if I smoke a more reasonable amount of weed, and if I exercise a more reasonable amount, I will probably have a more reasonable amount of anxiety as well. Because not exercising and not being sober and not sleeping very well, staying up very late, probably aren't doing great things. Again, reparenting ourselves, taking better care of ourselves, being healthier. And then my last one that I wrote down, just living in the now and not in the was or the will be. Because I struggle with a lot of anxiety and living in the past, in the present, in the future. I don't really struggle with living in the present. I struggle with the other two. Because I'm in the other two often. And that's something that I don't think I want to quite do as much for this year. Because it's not doing good things for me, I want to be healthier. I want to read more. I have a few fun ideas for this channel that I want to potentially do, and yeah. Anyways, I think that's all I got. So, Happy New Year. I hope that this year is incredible to you, or at least better than the last one was, the last couple. I'm hoping that for myself as well. And yeah, salutations and Happy New Year.